Hi Dinesh, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so...
Okay, well, I guess I do this online, so I'll moderate, if you like. Jay, why don't you kick us off with the question you asked him there in the camp?
Who conceived OVI Good Things?
The campaign?
Yeah.
Okay, that was basically an offshoot from the navigation campaign that we had in 2008. So it's really the next step from that. So it's something that we did for the social location offering that we have from Nokia. And the best way to actually bring that into the consumer space and to show people what's actually at the end of their journeys, which is essentially a good thing, is an offshoot from that.
Perfect. Jerome, you got anything you want to ask?
When's OVI Maps 4 coming out?
That's something that we'll have to get back to you on.
So, who's next? See, Glenn?
I'm just wondering, so this is getting a lot of hype with the N97 Mini. Is there any new functionality that will make it, capturing a good thing, just intuitive to the end user? We're talking about the consumer, so is it going to be simple for them to capture and share their good things?
Yeah, at the moment, as the campaign stands, it's actually for this year, so 2009. And so after that, what happens is going to be something that will be revealed later. So, yeah.
Okay. Because usually I find the usability is a huge issue, particularly getting the really non, technical geek to do this kind of thing. So.
Well, I mean, if you look at the navigation offering, the way it currently is with OVI Maps, I'm a non-technical geek, by the way.
Okay.
And so I think for me it was really the stress test when somebody put the device in my hand and said, okay, now use the service.
Yeah.
And I mean, what I found was that, when you're walking down the street, for instance, the other day I was passing this really nice French restaurant called Pierre Victoire, and somebody mentioned to me once to just tag it as a favorite. Because if your GPS fix, it just so happened that I was walking there and my phone picked up where I was because of OVI Maps. And you just tag it as a favorite, and the next time I'm in that place, then I'm definitely going to go to my good thing. So it's just really a translation of what you can do with the service and what these good things are. So it's a functionality of the device and the service by itself.
Right.
So that's what it is, and it's going to be the case on every single device because OVI Maps is going to work on every single device as well. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Sure. Any additional sharing capabilities to be integrated with this service?
Well, right now,
social bookmarking.
Well, right now, as it stands, you can share via MMS, as you know. You can also share via text, Bluetooth, the rest of it, and also with live casting. That's actually what's going to be the really fun part, because then you can share to your friends on Facebook from there. So it's going to pick up your location and then share it. So wherever you are in Pierre Victoire, for instance, your friends can know and see where that is too. Yeah.
So all this going to be tied to the N97 Mini, or is it going to be for all N series or all Nokia devices? Like for example, the live casting and say the OVI Maps, this sharing your location and everything. Is it going to be tied to the N97 Mini, or is it going to be available on all devices?
It's going to be available on all devices going forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roman? Yeah, then. Anything?
No,
okay.
no question.
Christian? Any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Let's see, who's next? John, have you got anything you'd like to find out?
Yeah, how's OVI Maps coming on Series 40? I know this is mainly a Series 60 meeting. I'm just wondering how's it going there forward.
Well, there isn't any plans for Series 40 at the moment. For Series 40, we have Maps 2 already.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
All right.
At the moment, yeah.
Ibrahim?
No.
Michael?
Is it also planned for Memo, for the N900 and all that's coming afterwards?
Pino, do you want to comment on that?
Sorry, say it again. I couldn't understand the question.
Hello, I'm Michael. I was just wondering if the whole OVI Maps thing is also going on Memo, on N900, etc.
We are working on that, of course, but still not available right now.
Okay. Alright, thanks.
Any times? Anything?
Glenn basically asked my question, so not to share it.
Is there anything else anybody wants to? Yeah.
How do you see yourself competing with OVI Maps? With Google Maps, like in terms of bringing satellite images and the services that they're bringing to their maps with OVI Maps, and also in terms of search I'm finding that when I need to look for something in OV Maps, it doesn't find it. I have to go to Google Maps for that. How do you see yourself, like, see OV Maps improving?
Okay, so let's do the first bit, the satellite imagery first. We have very, very good satellite imagery because of our tie-up with a company called Digital Globe. And they basically give us time to market in a way. And we get, because of a strategic partnership with them, we have access to probably the most high-end satellite imagery that you could think of. And you can do a like-to-like comparison with Google and actually see for yourself the difference in this, because we have the satellite imagery and we have the aerial imagery. So there's two different things. The aerial imagery is essentially what low-flying planes take pictures of, and then you have the satellite imagery. So the resolutions are actually quite different. So the quality is basically enhanced on the service offering that we have. And also in terms of the search algorithm part of it, it's obviously something that we're constantly improving. With OV Maps, we've brought the one-box search back in again. So now you can type in whatever it is that you want to look for offline and also search for that. Google, again, doesn't work offline, as you guys already know. So that in itself is something that we're much more superior on. And also, what else have we done? Yeah, so in terms of the map data, obviously better because we have the NAVTEC map data that's already embedded in your maps. So you don't have a data connection, you're in a place like here where your data connection's not going to work, whatever it is, you can still search offline, for instance. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it from a search perspective. Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody want to feedback about what they've seen, the good things, and how they're going to use that possibly?
I think I'm going to use it for, sorry.
Jump in then.
If I'm going to use it to, like, whenever I go to, like, in Cardiff, if I'm going to, like, random shops, and I've never been there before, I just come across it, I'm just going to, like, favourite it. But not just favourite it for me, but favourite it for other people to see.
There you go.
And for, like, maybe concerts, house parties, just things like that. If it comes up fast enough on Good Things, that's something I'm going to use it for.
Great stuff.
I have to wonder if, well, Nokia owns Doppler now.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I mean, that's a fine social location service. I've made sure that I entered this trip into my Doppler journey, so and people know that I'm here. So it'd be quite cool for that to integrate with the OV services, particularly for sharing things. It seems to be a natural extension.
Yeah, I mean, that is where we're heading to with social location anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, with us, our motto is connecting people in new and better ways. So it's really about getting all these different elements together. I mean, if you look at it, it's literally like ingredients for this fabulous recipe that we call social location. So you have the live casting with the Facebook integration, then you've got Doppler, which is going to go on as is at the moment, but in the future. And then you have all the other different things that we're bringing together. So you have the web, you have the PC, it's where people interact with their devices and their location and really share. It's your people, places, and time. I mean, that's what we're trying to bring to the table. So, yeah.
I have a question about the arrow we've seen today and last night. Currently it's pointing to places in London. If Glenn goes home to Denver today and puts it into Good Things, will the arrow be able to point to his house?
In general,
away?
in Canada, in that direction, somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
I
is
guess.
It a local?
It's a local thing at the moment, yeah. But we can try, see what happens. Yeah.
It'll just display 8,000 miles.
For instance.
Yeah.
For instance, yeah, because it's going to be all, I mean, the Good Things from various locations anyways that are going to come in. So it's going to be anything in that direction to all the way to Canada. So, yeah.
Do you see augmented reality being part of OV Maps in the future?
Pino, do you want to comment on that? Any future-oriented questions?
Okay.
Well, of course, we are trying to improve OV Maps in order to offer the greatest experience. For instance, we have right now the 3D landmarks. So we are not right now moving into the augmented reality direction, but it might be an option for later.
Thank you.
Cool. What about tying in with now? Obviously, there's the relationship with NAVTEC, although the two companies do still operate quite separately. Will the end user be able to interact with Navtech, particularly to help update the data. There's a lot of crowdsourcing going on. I know, like Google does that, for example, because using the traffic information to provide real-time updates.
Yeah, I mean,
Are you
at the
doing that?
moment we use Navtech Maps, and that's definitely one of our USPs. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's a key selling point, but more like a unique selling point because of the coverage and also the depth of data. And we have vector data from Navtech, so which makes our maps a lot lighter, basically, in terms of data usage. And crowdsourcing is definitely in the books going forward. That's definitely something we're going to look into because that is one of the ingredients of social location anyway. So yeah, that's definitely something we're going to look into.
TomTom allows users to edit maps if they come across a road that doesn't exist anymore, for example.
Crowdsourcing, basically.
Yeah, but they allow them to edit directly on their map without sharing. So, you don't have to wait through an approval process. Would that be possible?
I can't comment on
All
that
right.
because that'll be something which Navtech would need to get back on, but we can definitely find
Okay.
out for you. Yeah. I don't know, Pino, can you comment on that?
No, I can't neither.
Okay.
All right, that's fine.
We'll get back to you on that.
It's a nice future though.
Sorry?
It's a nice future though.
Yeah, totally. It's very exciting.
Do you see yourself, or OV Maps in general, giving longer free licenses or free navigations to use OV Maps? Because I'm finding a lot of people, they're not even aware of what they have on their phone. They've got powerful navigation software, but they
Absolutely.
either don't want to use it because they're going to have to pay up front. So do you see yourself maybe lengthening that to perhaps longer than the 60 days, perhaps maybe to 6 months to a year, for people to get accustomed to the services?
Well, I think at this moment, at this moment in time, we do offer these trial, like you said, and I think the objective right now is to get people to start using that trial, and then if they're happy with the service, then obviously they can buy the longer term license. But that's really what it is right now, what you get on your device. So, yeah.
Do you think it might be better if it was just given free, like you bought your phone and then you have that service and it's basically your navigation for life as long as you have that phone?
Well, I mean, that's obviously something that I can't comment
Yeah.
on because we have to see how things go. But if you look at business models in general, I mean, even with your TomTom, for instance, you're paying a perpetual license, but you're actually paying it up front, and then you're paying for map updates anyways. So, and even with Google, even though they do claim to be free and the rest of it, you're actually pulling data every time you use your device. So even though you're not actually paying a license, because Google doesn't do navigation, they do routing. So it's always the turn-by-turn part of it, which is what we actually call navigation, because our service is that. So it's not really an apples-to-apples comparison in the first place. But from that perspective, I think everybody in the market currently charges for navigation. So that's how it is. That's the business model. Yeah.
There's free players coming on the market though.
Yeah, and when that happens,
Waze, for example, is making pretty big noise in the U.S. and coming to Europe. So it'll be interesting to see how that
yeah,
rolls out.
absolutely. I mean, we have to obviously be ready, prepared. So let's see how it rolls out.
And
Exactly.
they're porting to Symbian too. So
Yeah. So let's see what happens.
Would you be prepared to use crowdsourcing, as in like OpenStreetMap, for getting stuff that's not in the Navtech database?
I can't comment on that, unfortunately.
Because that's what we've done.
Absolutely, but that's definitely something we can look into and get back to you on. It's not a problem.
Are we getting Street View sometime soon? Maybe?
Not in the roadmap now.
How about indoor positioning?
The
That work?
Pinot?
We are going to integrate soon the Wi-Fi positioning.
Okay.
Indoor positioning, other technologies for indoor positioning are not in the roadmap yet.
But will it be, or?
Well, of course, if we can improve the positioning also to work indoor, we will work on that as well.
Okay, thank you.
OVI Maps API, where people can develop and create their own custom routes.
This is a Pinot question, so let me just pass that there.
Hi, it's Jerome. OVI Maps API doesn't have the navigation available yet, although it is documented. It's not actually actually officially released. When would that be possible?
Pino.
Okay. He's now is telling me that it's coming soon. So the API is currently on beta. So until we go commercial and we go with the definitive version of the API, we are going also to integrate navigation.
Okay, thank you.
It's like passing the parcel here, isn't it?
Has everybody exhausted their list of Glenn? Have you? Yeah. Jay, have you got anything else?
Just one thing, just going back to the
Oh,
thing.
please, go ahead. This is fun.
How did the name Good Things come about?
Okay, so if you just look at the number of the consumers that we're looking at, I mean, we don't have the luxury of saying that we're going to target just the very high end or just the very low end or just the music people, just the email people, none of that kind of stuff. We basically have to target everybody.
Yeah.
And from that perspective, I mean, the navigation service, it's all about getting you to the things that matter. And that thing that could matter could be a restaurant, it could be a person, it could be anything. And it's all about getting there and stress-free and hassle-free and really having a great time, having a good time. So you want to get to your good thing. And that's really what it is. It could be person, place, whatever. And that's how the whole good thing concept actually came into being. Yeah.
Is that a term that's going to persist?
Well, we want to make it persist, so why don't you all use it as much as you can in any of your blogs, and let's make it like a part of everyday lingo. How's that for a plan?
Yeah. That's a good thing for that.
Yeah, totally. It's a great thing. That's the next campaign.
Great things.
Great things. Yeah.
Awesome. Is everybody
Yeah.
totally okay? Cool. Well, Pino, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dinesh.
Thanks, Dinesh.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
And Arsha, thank you very much for
pleasure.
giving us your time, and
Pleasure.
sure it was appreciated by all these chaps.
Thank you.
Right.
All right.
Sorry,
Thank you very much.
what's your full name again?
Arsha Barlet.